What? Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Talk Story with DJ and Kanila. I am Kanila. That's DJ Calvicani, and welcome to the long-awaited show, first of the new year. It's February 22nd, and we're back. Ta-da! Hey, DJ, what's going on?
What's up, man? What you got going on?
I'm just over here doing the coloring thing.
Is that for the Maui Strong?
Yes, this is the first page I'm calling for Maui Strong, the fundraiser for the Lahaina fires that was put together by Carl Shinyama. Well, he's the editor for it. I don't really know who's putting it together. They're just paying me to color some pages.
Sweet.
Sweet.
I heard that thing made like 10,000, yeah?
I want to say it was almost 12.
Oh, that's good.
At least it was. I didn't really pay attention to it. This is when we were trying to work on our book and getting it all done, and then I ended up getting ready to go to the Super Bowl, so I was a little distracted. I was focused on other things.
So how was the Super Bowl?
Worth every penny. Yeah. However, look, it was awesome. It was my team. I probably would have enjoyed it even if it wasn't my team. But now that I've done it, I don't need to do it again. I've done it. I said it, I've done it now. So it's like, I don't need to do it again. But it was totally worth it. I totally felt like it was worth the money I spent on it.
Well, yeah, especially if your team win,
Well, it didn't.
Oh, I thought who's you going for? I never.
I've been a 49er fan since I'm 9 years old.
Oh yeah.
No. Unfortunately, we didn't win this time, but it happened.
Oh.
We can't win them all. Just because my team hasn't won the last 3 that they were in, doesn't mean anything. Yeah, it means a lot. It's maybe I didn't like it all that much, but I did enjoy the game. I enjoyed the experience. I had a good time. It was actually worth it to me.
That's cool. I was way too busy. We watched it. I had to leave after I have to.
Because you were what, working?
No, but I had to drive back home from Waimea during the halftime. Otherwise, it would be too late if we watched the whole game.
Yeah.
I gotta work in the morning on Monday. We watched up to the the halftime show and then we left. I used to be all into football and all of that, but just too busy, man. Too busy nowadays.
Yeah, well, welcome to growing up life, brother.
Well, been like for a long time. I was growing up before I was growing up.
I hear you.
I was growing up before I was growing up. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. No complaints.
So what are you working on right now?
I am working on a pitch for his comic called. Let me make myself big. It's called Ocean Force.
Ocean Force.
So, it'll probably be like on 12, maybe, 10, 12 page story. And then just for the activity book that we was talking about earlier. So, wait, not that one. Yeah, that one. Okay. So, I guess we'll talk about projects that we're working on right now. So, I got, I guess they found me online or whatever. This, I don't know if you know who Ocean IT is. They're like this, sciencey kind of company in Honolulu. They develop all kind of like technology and stuff. I don't know, but they took me to their lab, their office building thingy on, I forget where it was in Honolulu. But they took me over there. They showed me all the crazy stuff they make. Pretty cool the stuff they make. But then they wanted me for work on this activity book with them, and so I gotta put together the proposal. So I've been just jotting down some ideas and came up with some characters for them that I think is pretty cool. And if they refuse them, I can just use them someplace else anyway. So I think it's fun. You can always recycle these things, you know.
I hear you.
Yeah. Shoo. Other than that, still working on AD guns. I haven't been able to get a lot of traction on that one yet. And then still got Exilian 6 on the back burner. That one always goes on the back burner. Your own personal projects always got to go on the back burner first because you got to get paid first.
Well, since all of my personal projects are the ones I'm paying for, I understand. I was considering so I'm doing I agreed to do a 6-page short story comic book for Napua Ahina's horror anthology.
Oh yeah, I seen that. I just saw that one. I saw one. That's pretty awesome. I like that she's doing that though. I really dig that she's.
And part of the reasons why I'm like contributing is because I think it's something worthwhile, and I'd be happy. I'm happy to help encourage that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And gets my name out a little bit more. Then it's also going to be a story. It could be a story that I turn into an IP for my comic book company. So,
right. Always.
I'm more than happy to do it.
Right. So, I went to Wanderberries. I took the
Yeah, he messaged me today actually.
Oh yeah.
He said he got the books, and he's like, so you don't have anything from the other titles on your website, do you? Because I'd love to be. No, not yet. But when I get them, I will send them to you. Thank you, because I'm really interested in other. He was like talking fast, but in text. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, the guy is super cool. What's his name? Renell.
Yeah, he was interested in everything we did. So,
yeah,
brother, I will help you out. We will get you taken care of when stuff happens.
Yeah. We will get you when we get you. I know he wanted to order some more Exilian books. I never have long time. I gotta go order some more.
Well,
I'm supposed to do a Kickstarter, but I'm so busy, man. Just so busy. So Kickstart number 2.
Yeah.
I don't know if I got it in me, man. I mean, I know it is, but if you build them up, you can make that your bread and butter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But man,
it takes a while to get the clientele too. I mean,
you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
You see, like people like Jimmy Valentino, not Valentino, but Palmiotti and his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And that's their. I mean, and yes, they're professionals. Yes, they've been doing it for years, but they also are producing, which is
right.
Which is really the deal, right? You got to produce,
right? You got to get the time for produce, and you got to get the time for
And Kickstarter has become kind of the way to do it, or at least crowdfunding in general has become the way to be able to produce.
Yeah, I mean that's the only way for as an independent thing. To me that's the only way forward. You cannot. I mean, the Marvel they're not promoting people. You know what I mean? They're promoting projects. You know what I mean? DC, they're not promoting people. They're promoting projects. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I'll just. And then he's not gonna own any of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So might as well just do your own thing. them come to you and you're doing your own thing. You know what I mean? Even if nothing happens, you doing what you like do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're doing your own
Oh,
creative.
that's kind of my whole thing out with publishing my own stuff is I don't really care whether or not it makes lots of money. I want to publish it. I want to get my
Yeah,
story out there. I want people to see it, and I want to have a conversation with someone about it. I don't necessarily need to make tons of money off of it. If I
right.
do, awesome. And you know,
Won't stop
yes,
that.
in the end, it's kind of the goal is to make money doing it. But for me, it's more about producing and getting it done and getting it out there.
Right. I hear you, bro. I hear you.
Am I speaking to the choir over there?
Speaking to the choir over here. Preaching to the choir.
Preaching to the choir. That's funny. I'm preaching to the choir, which is filled with a person who's actually a. Oh, I mean,
I'm both, actually. I am the preacher and the choir.
I hear you.
Literally, one man choir. But yeah, you gotta love it. Otherwise, you're not gonna do it. You gotta love
Right,
it.
and if you don't love doing it, why are you doing
Yeah. Well, that's the reason why we're doing this. Because either way, we could do it one way or another. So I might as well stream up to what we had it.
it? Okay.
But I'm digging this project because I'm finally like all the projects that I do is all based in like fictional worlds,
Yeah.
and that's fun. But the thing about fictional worlds is if everything is fiction, it really drains you of like reference. You know what I mean? If you can pull reference from everywhere and you do, then kind of like no more consistency. Whereas if you're doing something grounded in the real world, then you can, you know,
There's all kinds of references you can draw from.
yeah, then that's your reference point. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I actually interesting you say that. You know, I was working on some imagery for that horror story I told you about for Napua's project. And I was just researching a little bit, and then I found a couple of pictures that I wanted to use because, well, essentially my story is about a vampire attack in Chinatown here in Hawaii. So I was looking for imagery that I could use or draw from to tell parts of the story, and I found some, and I was spending some time today, kind of drawing them out on my iPad to
right,
to see what it's like, right? And yes, I almost traced them, but it also kind of de-stressed me because I was doing something so simple, and I was able to use reference, and it still looked good. I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense. The idea
yeah,
is that by being able to reference the imagery
right,
that we're using,
right.
it's very calming and soothing, and I can trust what I'm doing. When
Well,
you have to
it
fake it so
takes the
much,
guesswork away.
right?
So,
When you have to guess or fake,
yeah,
you're
when
always
you
second
gotta make
guessing it.
a so that's one of the big problems that I get with Exilian is because I make not everything like I reference castles and whatever, but it's like I don't like that style castle. Okay, I like another castle, and then you go down the rabbit hole finding all these castles only to realize that
Oh, I like this. Oh, I like this. I want to put this somewhere
right,
at some
right.
point.
But then at the end you end up wasting more time looking for a reference that you think is better, and then when you find
Yeah.
something good, you realize okay, I kind of draw that well. Like you know what I mean? Then you got to
Can't
figure
use
out
this
how
right
to draw
now.
that well, and then versus if you say that project you're working on is Hawaiian, right? So you gonna pull up whatever images you get, and Hawaiian is actually really easy because actually it can be hard if there's anyways.
Yeah, no. Long
In
story,
terms
but
of,
yes.
in terms of in terms of reference is easier because it's like you all stuck in one period. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not gonna be referencing when submarine. You know what I mean? You're just gonna do
King.
the whole the old va, you know what I mean? And so, yeah.
Oh, I get it, and it can be both good and bad, and helpful and not. But I've always found that if I add variety to what I'm doing,
Right.
some of it by like doing landscapes or life drawing, or you know,
Right.
it, it 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 functions as kind of a broom for my brain. I don't have any better way to say it. It just clears out my headspace, because
Yeah.
then I'm just drawing what I see and not trying to make it up as I go.
Yeah, that's the part. That's exactly what I mean. Making them up as you go. Oh man, that can be so stressful, man. And that's one of the big reasons I wanted Exilian to live in its own place, is because I never like be beholden to like reference. But then,
Yeah.
oh, that's also the hardest part, because it's like, oh man, when as you improve as an artist, you just realize like now you gotta do all the hard work of all of that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Versus if you just made them in whatever the whatever world you want to build them in, and it's not fictional, you get
Yeah.
all of that work with. You know?
I mean,
Yeah.
there's also some drawbacks to drawing about drawing things that exist in the real world. There's some serious drawbacks. I mean, you have to make it believable to that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. But if you're a capable artist, you that's actually it's good. But if you if you don't want to get called out on your stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So when I just never like get called out, because you know. But then now it's like, oh man, when you improve, it's like, oh man, I wish I just based them in real, on something real, like something not so fictional, because now all the hard work is on me. But at the time when I was creating them, I was like, yeah, I just do them like this so that I can do all this crazy stuff. But then it's like, oh, it's a lot of work.
It's a
And
lot of work.
I find that working on stuff that, especially if you're not writing, you know what I mean? If you're just the
Uh-huh.
artist, if you're just the artist and you get your references and you just go off that that is I don't know what the word is, but like not freeing, but it frees up the other part where you gotta use your brain for, you know what I
It's
mean?
less stress,
It's less stress. Yeah, that's the word. It's less
and
stress.
we as artists we stress ourselves out so much anyway.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
we
we
do.
on purpose, and it's kind of annoying.
Okay, I gotta just call. You gotta entertain everybody because my wife is calling me.
All right, go. How about do some Nagila Hava dance? No, they can just watch me color. Everyone, hi, I'm coloring right now. Yo, no, 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 no. Oh, I should go see about sharing. Oh wait, maybe it's on this instead. Uh,
I'm back.
Backed by popular demand.
I'm back. My wife had to go corner tonight, but she's coming back now. So she's coming back now.
Good.
Meetings.
There's the link.
The missing link.
Well, no, I'm gonna share. I'm gonna share the YouTube link on my Facebook page to the YouTube stream.
Yeah.
Duk, 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 duk. DJ and Kanila are streaming live now. Boink.
Oh, my pens. My pens all running out of ink.
Zoinks.
Running.
And there to post. Maybe we'll get some people to join us on the stream.
Yeah.
You know, all two of the people who follow me online.
Yeah. On Facebook.
Yeah, that too. Period. Period. You know, Facebook makes it so that you don't see everybody's posts, right? So
Yeah. I know. I hate that. I don't like you anymore.
boom. Boom. Ding.
Don't like you anymore. Don't like you anymore.
You abandoned me. Okay. Love don't live here anymore.
All right. Since we're both blanking out, I'm gonna run you some questions.
Go.
Okay. What do you want to improve on for 2024? Can be anything. Can be
I
skill.
want to improve my ability to run a company.
Good answer.
Actually,
what?
Well, pay taxes.
Oh yeah.
Pay people on time.
Right.
Do contracts well. You know, just the running of a business in a responsible way.
Yeah. I got you.
Because I'm sure there's one or two artists that I know that are doing work for me that love to get paid on time.
We all do. Well, I have a good question afterwards.
Yeah, no problem. So really, I can do the parts of comics that I do, the coloring, the writing, even when it comes to inking, I can do all of that. That's the craft of comics. I feel very confident in. It's the management of that craft, making sure that everybody contributes, because you have to be part taskmaster, cheerleader, priest, financier to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I gotta motivate you to do a good job and motivate you to do a good job on my project before that other project, and it never really works out that way.
Oh, it's gonna bring up a good point that we should talk about.
Yeah. Okay, go for it. I'm here.
Okay, something that nobody talks about, but it happens. Well, maybe people talk about it, but I never hear. Is when artists ghost. When an artist ghosts you. I've done it. I know you've done it. I know you've had it done to you. But you know what I mean? Like, it happens. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm having it done to me right now, actually.
Exactly. It happens. Like, I've done it and I do it. I still do it. And that's, sometimes it's just not there. You like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you on fire for this project and then you can work them and then all the energy is gone. You know what I mean? If all that energy is gone, now it's like, now you empty. And now especially if you kill that first part, it's good. And then the next part coming out and it's just not good. You know what I mean? For me, it's like, oh, now I'm gonna ghost you for a little while because I gotta get that. I just put stuff on a back burner. Like, you know what I mean? I gotta recharge that energy that well. You know what I mean?
The well that was there when you first started.
Yes.
And all the energy that you had.
Right. Because it runs out. Like, you know what I mean? It runs out mid project, and now you got to get them back.
Right. And
not only that, if you may not, was that?
that's actually a huge thing when it comes to being a professional, right?
Right.
You have to be able to power through that as a professional. There are times when was getting paid for comics or projects, I didn't want to work anymore. I was
Yeah.
done. I was tired. I wanted
Yeah.
to sleep. But if I didn't finish the project within a timely manner, I never got more work.
Yeah, I get that.
And that's how Marvel and DC handles it. If you
Yeah.
cannot produce in a timely manner, you just don't get more work in the future.
But the difference between Marvel and DC and everybody else is huge. You know why?
Yep.
Because everybody knows Marvel and DC. You're not the first person that would draw all of that. You know
Nope.
what I mean?
Yep.
Whereas your project or anybody else's project, if you're the first guy to draw all of that, bro, let me tell you, that's not easy. Now you got to create this whole new visual language. Sure, you can use, all of the comics that we used before, but still, yeah, that's if you just in over your head, and let's just face it, like we know what it is. Like you in over your head. Like if you do one, especially if you never did do an issue before,
Yep.
if you never did draw 22 pages, and you just in over your head, you're not gonna
What
be
do you
able
do?
to, like, you know what I mean.
What
I
do you do?
remember when I was taking my sample, so I took him to Emerald City, and I forget the guy's name. It was an anchor from like Marvel. His name
Uh-huh.
was Andy. I forget his name. Andy something, but he was telling me. So I was asking him what I needed, and he was saying, "You almost there. What you need is you need one 4-issue arc for Cut Your Teeth on." And so I was like, okay, so that one stuck with me. So I needed to do 4 issues of one comic consecutively. You know what I mean? And so that was like perfect timing because I did this web comic called Spy 16, and was uh the writer had 4 issues in mind. So I was like,
Okay.
bang, this is like, okay, this is perfect. That 4 issues is gonna teach me. So I went in knowing, because the guy went kind of coached me up. He was like, you gotta figure out how long it is for you to do 1 page, how long it is for you to do 2 pages. The like the blind spots, the weak spots, like what you good at, what you're not good at, what you like doing, what you don't like doing, and so I went in with my eyes open like that, and so it was good because web comics is actually one good practice, especially nowadays, because Marvel and DC. I mean, I never did get hired by them, so I cannot speak
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
yeah,
You
yeah,
can, but I never got hired by them. But so the next best thing for really cut your teeth will be, well, now it's not too bad. You get crowdfunding, so you get money coming in, so you get people that can learn as they crowdfund. But when I was doing them, when I started off, was all like digital webbing, and we had to find like web comics for work on for just put them on the web. Only for realize that people don't like reading comics on the web; they still like them in print. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
that's the reason why crowdfunding can work, is because people like them in print, because the web, nobody gonna read them on web comic. Like, I mean, get people that are gonna read them, probably kids or younger people, but our generation, we rather hold them in our hands. But anyways, so I went in doing that project, and then I got to the fourth issue, and I quit because, well, bunch of things came up, but I realized at the end of that project that I was done with this project. Like, I was spent. I had nothing. I had
In the
no more
tank.
to give to this project. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Like, you just gas out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you talk about like boxing and gassing out creatively. Creatively, you can gas out too. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so it was kind of perfect timing for me, because after that I was kind of open, and I never get. I'll get like one issue here and one issue there, and you know, I think besides Exilian, AD Guns gonna be the next thing where I get one actual bunch of issues coming back to back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then so with AD Guns, what I doing now is I trying to figure out the because you get them shifting to so many different locations, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't like work so hard for create all of these places, and the team just can burn down. Like, you know what I mean? You
Right.
know what
No,
I
I
mean?
hear you. I hear
So
you.
why am I working so hard and this place just gonna burn down? Like, you know what I mean? So and then the way you got them to is kind of like oh, this we're gonna take this motif and put them in this song. So I was like, so as an artist, I'm like, oh, you kid, this one gonna be like Romans, this one gonna be like Japan, like you know what I mean. So I'm like, oh, it's a lot of crossing wires over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Which like I can
Oh
be
yeah.
honest, it's not gonna look as great as all of that. You know what I mean? But I know you
No,
just give it
and it was
something I can work with. You know what I mean?
it's
But
it never was never intended. It never, in my case, it's never intended to create a fully functioning like culture per se. It was more as a feeling, right? It's I want it to feel kind of like that, even though I know it's not that. If that makes sense. I don't know if
yeah,
you know
no,
that.
yeah, I know what you're saying. But still, if like, so I know the emotional beats you're going for. You know what I mean? And the best way to pull out emotional beats is by giving people stuff they saw and then taking them away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something. So you know exactly what I'm talking about, right?
Oh
In
yeah.
that in
I
the
know.
first issue you're
Especially
talking about.
in that one story, right? Yeah.
Right. So anyways, for people who may listen, we get this one scene where in the script, Kanila writes, all the everyday people. So the everyday people, they're just living their life, and then the heroes come walking through that town. So the heroes come walking through that town, and you get to specifically see certain people doing certain things, and that's supposed to stay with you so that you get some emotional investment at the end of the issue when stuff happens, right? But
Yep.
in order to make that scene pop, you gotta get those scenes mean something. It's not just on throwaway. Like I, I I could easily be one just a novice artist and be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna draw whatever, X Y Z, and I could easily see anybody just doing that. But if I want that impact later on, then I gotta nail those scenes. You know what I mean? And if you nail those scenes, I don't think
Payoff is good.
yeah, the payoff can be good if you nail those scenes.
Yeah.
So
But if you don't nail those scenes, the payoff might be good, but it might not hit as hard.
yeah,
And the
it's not
whole
gonna hit
point
as
of
hard.
those scenes is to
Yeah,
make that emotional attachment.
yeah, yeah. And so yeah, anyways, but so getting back to burnout, getting back to being ghosted. You just gotta fill up the well again. You know what I mean? You just
Yeah,
gotta
no, I get it. And it took me almost 10 years, sorry, 20 years to get back to comics because I was burnt out.
right. I get it. I get it. And I see writers all the time. How do I get my artists to? And it's like I feel bad for you, bro. Because as an artist, I do that. I do that too. Like even people that pay me, I still do them too. You know what I mean? I don't make them like they. I gotta wait for my money. You know what I mean? Because I don't charge them. Like for you and I, I took some up front, but you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the back half of that, I gotta work for that. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So, but at least I know I get that coming in, and you know that that's the thing that is the carrot that is being dangled, right? So
What carrot? I don't know what are you all talking about. There's a carrot being hung in front of somebody.
yeah,
I was about to say, instead of doing your Kickstarter to republish number two, I could just recolor it and then I can republish it. Then you can sell it
what? Say that again.
because I have issue number two flatted,
Okay.
so I can color it and then I could reprint it for you, and then you can sell what I print.
Okay. The best way for sell them is Kickstarter.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that, but I have issues one and two. Well, two is almost flatted. Number one is already flatted, and I started working on number one a few weeks ago. I
Okay.
started coloring some pages.
Okay.
So we
Boom, boom.
will talk about that. That's a business conversation that needs to happen off the
Why? Nobody's listening.
air.
Nobody's listening. Why never told me this one was off the air?
So I got my flatter, Sean. He's flatted all of issues number one and two already. Well, most of it, number two already.
Bang,
So
bang, bang.
I was trying to power through the preview pages first before I got to issue one.
Right.
Because I still don't have in my head the look that I want with
Okay.
regards to colors, like
Okay.
for who the individuals are in my head. I'm not seeing it yet, so I got to spend a little time and do some of that prep stuff, right?
Okay.
But
Hey, let's talk
once,
about that so your process is like you're
hold
internalizing
on,
all.
Gabe, hold on. Yeah, give me a second. I gotta say bye to somebody.
Okay. Bye. Bye. Okay. So my question to Kanila is: so he has a process by which, when he's coloring, he differentiates different characters, which I think is awesome because it's showing that he's thinking deep.
Sorry about that.
No, no, no.
I
Good.
think
Okay.
saying goodbye to some people.
Yeah. Okay. So that brings up one question that I get. Hey, sup, brother Rick? So you said that you don't have the look of certain characters, right?
Yeah,
So you
I don't feel them yet.
okay. So what is like okay, so is it okay, so because you did so much work for like Marvel and DC and all of that, is does that work because okay, so you're working for Marvel and DC, everybody did Wonder Woman before. So you kind of
Yep.
know how she feel, right?
Yes,
But when you're working on my stuff, nobody
I don't
worked
know
on
how
that
they feel.
before. Exactly. Okay, so you're gonna be kind of like on Trailblazer for this. You know what I mean? It's like visual language.
So this
Create
this
one
first
whole-
issue, it always takes me one issue
Okay.
to settle in, no matter what book I'm doing.
Okay.
So I did an issue. I did a 3-issue run on Superman, and by the third issue, it was cherry. I knew exactly what I was doing. But
Okay.
that first issue, it was
Okay.
rough. I had no clue, and I spent twice as much time getting the look and feel that I wanted. Whereas by the third book, I was able to do it in like a third of the time
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I've
Because
done
you
it before.
create-
I know what I want it to look like, and I know how to
Right.
get there.
Right. Oh, I
And
think that's
so,
awesome.
I'm sorry.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah, and having what you had done previously was having it around so that I can look at it is good, but I kind of don't want to look at it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Only because then
Yeah.
I can't put my
Influences it.
own spin on it. I'm
Right.
looking at him and I'm just trying to do better than what he did, the
Right.
other guy
Right.
did, right? I don't want to do that. I'd rather just do it with hey, that's blue, and hey, that's red, or like we did that one page in with the dwarf and the other elf lady girl, the one that you said no, she's not the same elf. You need to do this,
Right.
and I got it to where I liked it, right? And
Yeah.
it just needs some more time. I wouldn't need to ask that again on subsequent issues because I'm going to recognize them, right? And I won't need to change that.
We could use these streams to do that. You know what I mean? It's like free advertising. You know what I mean?
Free advertising.
Free advertising.
But yeah, so you understand what I'm saying, right? It just
yeah.
It becomes
It's the same thing. What I do when I drawing like characters that nobody's seen before. I think it's a little bit easier for me if the character is derivative of something that we already know versus something that nobody ever seen before. You know what I mean? Now you gotta be the first.
One of the first things I do when I'm developing a story in my head is I cast all the characters.
Me too. I do exactly the same thing.
This is this person, this is this person, and this is this person, kind of, maybe with a little bit of difference.
Right. I do the same thing because the voice got to be consistent. If I go draw them every single time, the when you turn them, when you flip them, everything that the reaction, even like story wise, they have to they gotta track and be consistent.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So when I'm developing a story, that's what I'm thinking of, right? I'm thinking of what kind of voice do they have? Are they a jokester? And those kinds of things affect A, how you write them, and B, how you draw and color them. It affects things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and I'll use Wonder Woman as a good example because I colored an issue of Wonder Woman, or a couple issues of Wonder Woman, and I did find it easy to color because I knew exactly where to find the reference, right? Even if I had never seen colored Wonder Woman before, which I hadn't necessarily. I did do a little things here and there.
Right.
I was able to do a good job because I intimately knew the character from reading and paying attention on my own time.
Right. And that's the advantage that Marvel and DC always have, is that people already know these characters. You know what I mean? But I
Oh, yeah.
also feel like we can come out of the blue, out of left field with something new. You know what I mean? Because everybody knows those characters. They're so consistent, but it's kind of like no nothing new. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
understand what?
Yeah. No,
So
I totally understand.
I mean, and I'm not saying I trying to revolutionize anything. It's just that, and a lot of the stuff that I do is derivative of Marvel and DC stuff. Like let's not
Let's be honest. Everybody does it
yeah,
because
everybody does
they
it.
did it first and they did it best, right?
Right. And you're not gonna try to reinvent the wheel, especially where the wheel is working really good, But still, you gotta have that consistency, so that your story can be different from that stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh, I hear you.
So also, you got issue 2 on Flatted. So let me
Uh-huh.
ask you, 30 pages. Is it? Oh wait, so you figuring them out, so you don't even know the answer yet.
No, tell
So
me.
if you
Go ahead. Ask the question.
okay, so if it's a 30-page book, you don't know the characters, you don't know, but you're trying to figure them out. How long would it take you for finish? Generally speaking, if you was getting paid, like, you know what I mean?
If I'm getting paid and I'm doing it full time, meaning
Right,
it's my 8 hour a day job, I
right,
can color a comic book page. Well, so if it's a 30 standard Marvel DC books are between 22 and 24 pages long. Okay.
right.
I can do a book in a week, in 7 days.
That's awesome.
That's three, maybe it starts off for the first 2 days where I do 2 pages a day. The second two days, so days 3 and 4, I do 3 pages a day, and then 5 and 6, day 5 and 6, I'm doing like 5 and 6 pages a day because I've learned how these characters work over a few pages. I've learned how to set up my page, and I know my color schemes that I've chosen for that book. And it's just a matter of picking colors instead of creating colors. I know that makes
Right,
sense, but
right.
just
It's
here,
like
just now, just
mixing
here,
your brushes and getting all the colors consistent, right?
just
We've
here,
said
right now, just today. If you're looking at the screen right now,
right.
I chose this picture. I believe it's Tahiti somewhere as the
Wow.
basis for how I want the pages to look. So I chose some colors here, and I'm using that as kind of the palette for what I'm doing on the pages over here. Now,
Wow.
it's not perfect, but it's a guide. It's something that focuses me a little.
I like it. I like the contrast. The warm cool is so good, man.
That is the standard colorist trick in the oldest colorist trick in the book. You do cool and warm to offset each other. You want to
Wow.
make them relatively complementary colors.
Right,
So these are reds and greens,
right,
which are complementary colors on the color
right.
wheel, or you can go orange and blue. Same thing.
Yeah.
Um, but it it is at its best good color schemes, and people like looking at good color schemes. And when
Right.
you do it right, it's pleasing to the eye.
Yeah.
That's what you go for. That's the whole point, especially with color.
Huh?
Um, huh?
Good
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
we got a lot of praise from the work from the from the preview book.
Oh yes, I have gotten a lot of commentary. I still have plenty of copies of it. So if you need more, let me know.
I got the ones you gave me too.
Yeah. Good.
But yeah, she's looking good. But even that, even having this is good because now I can use this for reference. You know what I mean?
Yeah, something that you can hold in your hand to reference,
Right,
not looking at your
right,
phone. I understand. No,
right.
I get it. Trust me, I get it.
Yeah.
There's something more solid about looking at a picture in your hands as opposed to looking at it digitally.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've been finding I've been seeing how difficult it is to actually draw pages digitally. It's
Yeah.
it's contrary.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not what your mind thinks you should be doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You feel like you should be holding a paper and spinning it around to make different lines and stuff, and you can't
Right.
do that. And then when you're drawing on the computer or on an iPad, you're zooming in so far you can't
Right.
see nothing.
Right.
Whereas if you're on the table, you just sit back a little bit and lean forward, and sit back a
Yeah.
little bit, lean forward.
Yeah.
Is that it's just you're not used to it, right?
Yeah. In fact, for these next bunch of pages, I'm actually contemplating going analog
Analog.
only because um
Yeah, buddy. I'm your
sometimes you
I'm
get
your
just bogged down with too many options on the iPad. You know what I mean?
oh yeah. I'm your
Then you just get too precious.
I'm your daddy. I love it. I'd love you to go back to go to
I
pages.
gotta see though. I gotta see the thing that I like about the iPad is that it's portable.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And
I cannot take.
you can do some drawing while you're at lunch. I understand. Trust me.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting at work while the kids are drawing or painting or playing on the computer, and I have my 11 by 17 copy paper sitting on my table. I have it all paged out, and I'm sketching on them, and I feel so much happier doing it that way.
Oh yeah, trust me. When it comes to, especially when it comes to drawing, I draw. I gotta draw with pencil. I cannot draw digitally. I can ink digitally, but I cannot draw digitally.
Yeah,
So
I ink I do much better inks than drawing digitally.
you do better inks. Yeah, I think
Than
everybody
drawing digitally. Yeah.
drawing on the paper is so much. Even for me, inking. Well, after a while, like I'm not the best at like maintaining ink, like and brushes. Like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
brushes go bad on me fast. Like quills. I don't know for some reason. Like I haven't been getting along with them lately. Well, I used to have this one nib that I really love that I don't know for some reason it's just not the same anymore. You know what I mean? And I don't know if it's like sometimes the ink is perfect and sometimes it's too thick and sometimes it's too thin and sometimes the paper is like ugh, like you know what I mean? So I get really like that's why I switch back and forth between like digital and analog because sometimes I just get so frustrated with inking like analog. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Especially because for me, I still scatterbrain. Like you know what I mean? So I
What? An
I
artist is scatterbrained. I don't believe it.
you have no idea. I am so
Yeah, I do.
scatterbrained.
I know exactly what
But
you
it's
say.
not just in art, in life. Just right, let me tell you, it's all one big mess.
Have
You
you
know,
seen my studio? Have you seen my bedroom? If
for me, it's just one big like it's just I don't know. It's just all mixed in there, and like eventually we can get to them. But by the time I get to them, I might be way too late. You know what I mean? But it's coming.
I know. Trust me, bro. I know. It's it is both awesome and horrible the way that we deal with things as artists.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And you know what? I have roommates and family, and their answers sometimes to the way I do things or how I do things. Or that's just Kanila. That's just the artist in him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got that.
So so my roommate, my housemate, she works as corporate trainer for one of the local banks,
Okay.
and she is gonna try to help me put a package together, try to get my artwork into that bank's art gallery as part of a gallery show. And so I've been trying to put together some new pieces for that, and they're going to be all like digital painting portraiture type things.
Oh yeah, your portraits is good, man. So good. Like I
I
kind of do
hope.
that. I'm out on this. You know what I mean? Like I cannot stretch any more different ways. Like you know what I mean?
Well, for me, I have always been like all comic artists. I have been a figurative art guy. Figures has been my thing. But one of the things you learn as a comic book person is that you got to make believable, like, likenesses of people and of things.
Right.
And all the portraiture is making a believable likeness of that looks like someone. That's really what it comes down to, and that's all it is. So I have been for the last number of years training myself to do this. I actually used to teach I teach at the juvenile detention centers, and one of the projects I used to do was something called Facebook Fridays. It had nothing to do with going on Facebook. It had everything to do with drawing faces. Every Friday, I would present to the kids, 2 images, one female and one male, of faces, and then they would draw them, and then I would draw them. I teach them how to do it. The basics of head drawing heads and faces and trying to get things to look reasonably close to what you see, but there's a lot of work involved, as you well know.
Right.
So I had some good results with some of the kids' works. They did some great stuff, and I was very encouraged by it, and to the point where at some point I'm going to collect all the things that they did. I'm going to put it into a book and try to publish it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Kids, publishing kids like that is awesome. I think
the only problem there is I can't use their names. I can't tell people who they were because of where I work. They are not. Because of HIPAA laws and educational laws. They're essentially locked up, and I can't let people know that any individual persons are there. People aren't supposed to know who they are.
Well, what if you publish stuff that is students that is not there?
Well, I don't have any students of mine that are not there. That's
the
problem.
So,
all my students.
So you don't publish it until they're gone. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, there's that. And I think that's going to probably end up something similar to what I end up doing, because it's been now since the pandemic, I haven't done that exercise. So and that's been what, 3 years now, 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I figure 7 or 8 years later, I might be able to put it together, but I'd have to figure get some legal assistance on that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Or you can talk to.
It's a matter of making sure I have everything, where it needs to be, right? I got my bases covered.
Right. I get that. I got you, bro. Okay. I got another. Okay. What do you want to accomplish in 2024?
Okay, I wrote this down.
Okay.
Hold on. I want to accomplish in 2024. I want to publish 3 personal titles. 1 issue of each of those 3 titles.
Okay.
80 Guns is one. I've got and I set them up as targets, right? So first, middle, and far away.
Me too. Same thing.
Well, I only said that because you said that on the paper. So anyway,
right.
First target, 80 Guns, because I think that's the most close. Although we're only 8 pages in, 7 pages or 8 pages in, I think we're the closest to. That's the closest because we're both kind of We're on the same page, me and you, about with regards to this.
Right.
The middle target is a book called Influx, which is something I was doing with Theo Lee. And we're 18 pages in, 16 pages in.
Okay.
And they're all colored.
Oh, okay.
And inked. I just need 8 more pages from him, and then we're done with this first issue.
He's ghosting you, bro. It's gone. It's empty.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't experience those things.
Bro.
I have people that have medical issues that they have to deal with, or financial issues that they have to do with. Nobody I know would ever ghost me. I'm awesome.
It's ghosting, bro. So that's the middle target. What's the faraway target?
The faraway target, and not because I think she's ghosting me, is McCall High School. It's not because I think she's ghosting me. It's because I know that part of the reason why she agreed to do it was that I was going to help mentor her in doing it.
Right.
So I know it's going to take more time.
This. We love you, An. It happens. You know what I mean? It happens.
She's doing her now. She's doing an all women's art gallery show. So look,
do you, sister? Do
your thing? Trust me, I get it. But I'm a little bit sad over here. I'm so sad. Maybe you think the tears will work? Will tears work? I can try to make real tears. Should I use the real tears now?
And that's okay. So this is the reason I brought up ghosting is like, you know, when you ghosted somebody or somebody ghosting you, it's like you don't like see them. You know what I mean? You don't like them see you, or if you don't want ghosting, you don't like them see you.
To the point where you don't really want to look at what they're doing online because you.
No, but
you know my
thing is like, let's just be real. Like, let's just be real about them. I'm ghosting you right now, but I still like hang out. You know what I mean? It's just not that.
Also goes to, hey Mike, what's up? Oh no, so sad. Wait, who's over there? Anybody in there? Can we see who's watching the stream?
Yeah. Well, I can't see, but I mean,
I'm looking at the YouTube stream right now, and I don't see who's in the stream.
You are live.
Live chat. Hold on. There we go. But it doesn't show who. Anyway.
I can see the comments.
Oh yeah, no, I saw it.
They probably left already, but I mean, my cousin.
Yeah, I was just wondering if we could see who's actually watching the stream. You know.
Yeah, they probably whatever. So we're just hanging out anyways. Like, you know what I mean?
That's true too.
Even if nobody watch them, it is what it is. But whatever. Okay. So for me, my goal, what I want to accomplish. So my first goal is actually the Ocean Force pitch, and I said a pitch because I'm bad at pitching stuff. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I'm not even talking about the project. I'm just talking about the pitch. Because like typing is like homework for me. That's why Kickstarters really suck for me, because I feel like I'm doing homework. You know what I mean? I never was the kid for do homework.
Yeah.
I never was that.
Writing is its own problem. I mean,
yeah.
You know, I have a degree in art history, I've mentioned it before, and art history is a writing discipline. So I am perfectly comfortable writing everything. And I write pages and pages of stuff for myself all the time. Like I'll show you this. So this right here.
Trust me, you're hooked on. I'm hooked into your damn what you call
my notepad. I got so many things here about so many things all over the place.
You keep pissing me off because every time I get another notification and the thing blocked mine, and so my wife had to set them up. She had to reconfigure the thing for me because every time you do something in that I get a notification, and then when I try to find my stuff inside notes, I cannot find them because all your stuff pops up first. So my wife was like, "Babe, you gotta change this around." So she changed it for me. So finally, I'm not irritated. But every time you update that damn thing, the thing popped up on my phone because you shared
I shared the 80 gun folder. This folder here that has issue 1, issue 2, issue 3, the 3 arc synopsis. In there, I got the first 4 issue of synopsis and the next 4 issues, and then I got everything in here.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I like the idea of a story Bible, a place where I can always look for the information that I wrote down all the time.
Yeah.
and then being able to share it with you, for example, with regards to what I was thinking at that time, or that kind of stuff. It makes it, I don't know, it just feels like the right way to do it. If you catch my
Right. I'm terrible at this stuff. I get all my stuff written, like handwritten. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So I get so much of Exilian is just handwritten. So
I used to do that all.
I can't even find them. Like it's all it's all
Which
in my
is
brain.
why when I discovered that Apple Notes I can access on my phone, my computer, my iPad, everywhere, I was like in heaven. This is the way for me to write, because everything gets put in that folder, and I feel good about it.
When you
Whereas
you do them on your phone or you do them on the computer?
I do them all. I do them on my phone too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm sitting in my classroom, the kids are working, and I'm on my phone typing parts of the story.
I can do that with Google Docs, but I cannot do them with notes for some reason.
It's just it's what you get used to, right?
Yeah.
It's just a matter of, this is the way I work, and it works for me. And some people don't like it. Some people would prefer to do Google Docs because it does similar things, right? It does. It's more like Microsoft Word that you can share with your buddy.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. So, anyways, back to this list over here. I get my middle target. My middle target is actually AD guns #1, and that's because that should have been the first target too. But the pitch could be faster than me actually having to create this.
No.
So just like you got to create this visual file for how you're gonna color up everything going forward. I gotta now create the basis of on which I now have to be consistent on top of going forward into the next issues. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like right now I'm wrestling with it in my mind. I'm wrestling with it. I'm trying to figure out what the feel of this city is, because even if I'm gonna change some things later on, I want all of the places that we go to look kind of get the same feel. They can have different styles or cultural whatever, but there's got to be a true line. I am the true line, but still there's got to be something where, okay, these are the things that I take with me the next time I draw the next city. And if that one gets destroyed, these are those same things will carry on to the next. You know what I mean?
Which is what I was just about to tell you. So remember, I was about to say, remember, part of the reason why we're destroying this city is so that when we destroy the next city, we can compare the two cities, so that you can see the differences between the two. And right. So, and then when we go to the third city, it's going to be even different. I feel sorry for DJ. He has to draw 4 different cities. Well, no, 5 if you can consider the flashback scene to 1,000 years ago.
Well, I got so in my mind I got the shortcut already.
Yeah,
because every different culture has different rooftops.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
If I just make the rooftops, certain different ways, that's fine.
It's the same thing I do with people. Every person looks the same except their hair.
But it's different because when it comes to like architecture and all of that,
sometimes you gotta buckle down and draw something.
When it comes to things that professionals draw all the time, professionals are so good at nitpicking, pulling everything apart and putting them back together that you cannot fake them. Like, you know what I mean? You cannot phone them in. The minute you phone them in, all of the pros will be like, "Oh, I know what you're doing over here."
Right there. Yeah.
Right. They might not call you on them, but if they see that you're actually putting in the effort, they might not say anything, but they're going to respect you because, oh, this guy's doing the real thing. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, yeah. This guy's doing the actual, like, he's thinking about, because that's what we do as pencilers, especially, right? Penciling is thinking, and inking is doing in my book. You know what I mean? To me, inking is labor intensive, but the lines is already there. The penciler is the guy that starts with an empty canvas. You know what I mean? There's nothing on the canvas. You know what I mean? There's nothing on the page. It's white. You know, so
it's a snow leopard in a snowstorm.
but you know what I mean, right?
Oh,
So
absolutely.
when artists, especially like so, which is pretty awesome. The I mean the fact that Ryan Otley was he was talking to Ryan Otley and he he was looking at this and he was like, "Wow, you guys got a nice looking book." I was like, "Oh, this guy is this." You know what I mean? Like I don't
Oh
see
yeah.
these guys. You know what I mean? We live in we live far away. We don't get to actually impact these guys. You know what I mean? But so when he and then when what's his name, Scott Gail Simone's is that her husband or whatever,
Yes.
when
Husband.
he said he read Exilium. You know what I mean? He
Yeah.
said he actually read them, and then he said it was good. I was like, wow, right on. So people actually looking at them. You know what I mean? Because who knows? You know what I mean? So,
Absolutely.
anyways, I was like, okay, so all my over analyzing, all my deep thinking is not going to waste. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's being
It's
it's being
huge
read.
to think that someone is paying attention and they invested in it enough to read and comment to me about it.
Right.
They invested
Exactly.
in themselves in my story. That's where my and that's what I want with my whole publishing venture. I mean, I'm making money would be great, but I want someone to invest. I want someone to read it and say, "Hey, bro, that was cool. You doing
Right.
more?" Right? That's what I want. And so, like when brother at Wonderberries texted me, he's like, "Dude, whatever you guys got, send it to me. I'll buy all of it." I'm like, "You got it, bro. Let me as soon as I have something for you, you got
Yeah.
it."
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yep. And we need more guys like that. We
Yeah,
can find
we
more
do.
stores like that. You know what I mean? You get some guys that they hungry for stuff. You know what I mean? I
Well,
mean, I don't.
I've always been a fan of the way other realms promotes
Yeah.
or try to carry
Right.
local books.
Yeah.
And of course Alika. Alika has always been a great proponent for local books.
Yep.
I find that to be awesome,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I appreciate it, and I know all the other local artists and creators appreciate it too.
Oh yeah. 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 Yep. Okay. And so my faraway target is Exilia number 6. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Faraway target is that one. That one gonna be. I never been. And so I have never wrote and drew one whole arc by myself. I've drawn a whole arc by myself, but I never wrote and drew a whole arc by myself. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So actually, six
I've
doesn't.
never drawn in.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I drew
Six.
one entire issue once, but nothing more than that. I'd love to draw more than one issue.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So for me, issue 6 doesn't even actually complete the arc, but it gets me further than I've ever been art wise. You know what I mean? And I'm doing more. I'm doing more story wise. Like I planted all of these, a whole bunch of seeds in the first 4 issues of them. You know what I mean? And then they
Yes, I do.
and a lot of that will come out in the 6 and 7 issue. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Actually, it was supposed to be done by 6, but in order for the thing to be good and have the impact, I gotta bring them out. Might even go to 8. You know what I mean? And like so, I'm doing something that is kind of is comic booky, but it's you kind of like for me, I kind of got to take the manga route and spread out the action because a lot of the character moments is in the actions. You know what I mean? Is in
Mhm.
the fight scenes. You know what I
No,
mean?
character moments are in when people are when people do or say things. That's where
Yeah,
character moments are.
yeah. And so when people, I remember being on digital webbing, people say like, "Oh, don't focus on action so much, focus on story." And I'm like, the story is still happening when the action is still happening. Like you know what I mean? The story doesn't stop just because the action
That's true.
scenes is going on.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Especially when you understand like manga is good at it, but when you understand martial arts or like kung fu films, you know what I mean? Like yeah, they're fighting, but in that fight, it's like on song and dance. You're actually learning more about them, like character wise. You know what I mean? Even though it's just good guy and bad guy, you kind of learning the boundaries between the two characters. Like, you know what I mean?
Where one character will go and where the other one won't.
Exactly, and it all looks into the action, and it's all gets credited to the choreographer and the actor and all of that. But still, the story is still there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The
no,
stories. So for me, it's like, I don't know. Maybe I overthink stuff too much, but I think that.
But that's kind of why we do what we do, is because we overthink too much, man.
Yeah.
We have so much stories in our head. We have to get them out sometimes.
And we will help you.
And I will help you. Okay. So I am at the point right now where I'm starting to try to think about my company as more than just comics, and I'm thinking I really need to refocus, because in my head I want to turn some of my stories into like role-playing game campaigns, where I can package and sell them as part of role-playing games, or I have this idea to create a board game where I can make collectible cards that go with the board game, right?
Oh yeah.
But do I want to do that, or do I want to focus on comics? The answer is yes, and the answer is yes.
Yes.
I want to focus on comics, but I want to make these card games too. So
make the card games out of the comics.
Huh?
Make the card games out of the comics. Make the board games out of the comics properties. You know what I mean?
Well, that's exactly what I'm planning to do.
So that you can get another revenue stream from the merch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the idea wasn't necessarily to do that, but because I think that I have an idea for a board game, a collectible board game that I think would work. But when I created it a number of years ago, it was meant as a specific kind of game for a specific thing. But then I realized, well, all I have to do is change this, and it could be for anything. So it works. Just have to put it together, and I think I really need to make the books before I make the games. Although part of me says make the books and the games, but no, focus on the books first. Get that first arc done, then make the game while you're on hiatus for the second arc, and then make the second arc. Make the comics first.
Yup.
So
I remember I was working on so much things I don't work on is never going to see the light of day. But I don't take it back, because the experience you gain out of working on those things is like, you get better. You know what I mean? So I was working with my one friend. His name is Stephen Forbes, but he was doing this kind of this DC analog superhero analog story on on what everybody does, right? You know what I mean? So
yeah.
But he wanted to. Then he started talking to me about role playing games and all of these things, and I was like, "Bro, that's just too much. I can only do the comic, like, you know what I mean. I cannot do the art for all of that. I cannot, you know what I mean." And so I kind of pulled out of that one, and I kind of feel bad because we never got underway. But I kind of got overwhelmed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got overwhelmed, so I couldn't continue on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's that. But I still get the pages. I still but at that time I was trying to do something else with the project, because I never understand what he was trying to do. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So as a kind of young artist, I realized that I kind of did that a lot. I was always like not fighting with the writer, but like I always try to pull like projects towards me. You know what I mean? I'll like wrestle a project, and I see when people is doing that to me too. When I get somebody and they're trying to pull the project to them, and then something about that. If I'm too precious with the project, I usually end up not working with them. But if I can let the project go, then I can let the person do what they got to do with the project, which is not a lot, because not a lot of it got out there, because I was the one supposed to draw them, and you know how often these things fall apart.
Oh, what? Things fall apart? I have never worked on at least a dozen book proposals and had nothing ever happen with them. No, that's never happened. And I'm not even talking about my own personal proposal. I'm talking about proposals that other people asked me to work on with them.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Hey, Kanila, will you color this for our proposal? We're going to submit it to blah, blah, blah. Yeah, sure, whatever.
Right.
I put about 5 or 6 hours into it and nothing comes of it. Not even any money because I never got paid because I was doing it as a proposal.
Right.
Anyway, these are images that I worked on. And honestly, all I did was trace them of different places in Chinatown. Here, you got Jay Dolan's at the top, the bottom left, the Next Door Club in Chinatown, and then the Black Shamrock Tavern. And these are all three going to be in my vampire story.
Okay.
So
cool.
I had to draw them to see what they look like, and then I'm going to color these and put them in the book.
That's actually on good reference for have once you do that. Once you do
absolutely.
Once you do that practice.
It's good to just get in there and do, and then it adds a note of reality to the story that you're doing. And in this case, in this particular story, because it's so far out there, vampires in Chinatown, having real Chinatown locations will contrast the supernatural side of it. You're going to feel like, oh gosh, I was just at that place. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
Huh.
Next Door. And of course, I did this at work. I shouldn't say that out loud. I shouldn't tell the world that I've been doing some personal artwork at work. That didn't really happen. So we're going to move on and not talk about that.
My job is so crazy. I cannot draw.
You know, I long for the days when I was a gallery attendant at an art gallery at my university in Michigan. And I sat for 4 to 6 hours at a table in a comfortable chair doing nothing but sitting in a room where I would collect money for people who wanted to donate to the gallery. And I just made sure that nobody messed up the gallery. But I sat in the room. That's all I did. I was just sitting in the room. I did personal drawing, and that's about it. I didn't do anything in there worth, but they needed to pay someone to be in the art gallery, so that's where I was.
Yeah. Why don't you dig
awesome.
those exilian files that you've been working on and show me what you got? Why don't you show me what you got?
Fine, whatever. It's not like I can't look at somebody's other 80 Guns pages and be completely happy.
What?
Here. Nothing here is nice.
Oh yeah, you could show that too. Show mine first.
Oh wait, I don't want to do this. Hold on, wrong thing. So let's see here. Let's do it in Photoshop. It's native to Photoshop. Okay, so and we're waiting. Wow. And we're still waiting. Okay. So you remember this. Actually, this isn't the completed one. I will not show that one.
Wow.
I still have this page left.
Wow.
And then I finished this page. page 7. Why do I have page 7 as page 8? Hold on. That's because I saved it wrong. And I'm going to have to get a new page and redo it. Which one is page 8? Hold on. Yeah. Page 7. Yeah, so this is page 7. I finished page 6. Then finished page 7.
Great.
I think you already saw page 5. And I had finished page 4 the last time. I mean, when I first did these. Page 1, 2, and 3, and 4 I finished.
Yeah, I saw that one.
You saw this one. Then I finished this one recently.
Oh.
And then this is page 7. And then this is the old page 6. This is page 9 flatted. I'm not sure if that's the color you're going for that, but
whatever.
It actually matches what happens here. Here when he uses his staff, he's got. I have him with a dark blue outline and then a light blue in the middle here, like it's being so it mirrors what's happening here, like it's magic making that fire and not like a normal fire. Or is that a normal fire?
It is a magic fire, but check go to the page where he's stabbing a guy with the big sword.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, you see? Oh, not that one. Yeah, wait.
Hold on. It's my computer's messing me up.
Okay.
Window. Oh my gosh.
Okay, that page right
there. Okay.
Okay, so you see the second and third panels.
Yep.
So you see that barrier right there.
Yep.
That's the fire right there.
It's the same thing as the fire.
Yeah.
Is that this barrier here?
Yes.
Which is, having it be blue is the right way to do it, I think.
Yeah. So basically, all those guys right there
were brainwashed or some kind of.
Well, they were, and then now, so in the story, so those guys are kind of like contaminated, or they were part of the Necrosaurus kind of army kind of deal.
Sure.
But now that they kind of they're working on them, he releasing them, so they're gonna get released from that spell. But this guy just gonna burn them all, like thinking this is like collateral damage kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if you make the fire same color as that, and that's actually so awesome. Setting up some stars. Right,
hold on. So I sent all of these pages to my flatter. Here's issue number 2.
Sweet.
And he flatted all of issue number 1.
Wow.
Sorted by name. All of issue number 1 is flatted. There. And all of issue number 2 is not flatted, but we're up through page number 15.
Sweet.
And I had him reflat the original cover.
Oh, that's the wrong color. That one she goes.
I know. Yeah. I know. Okay. I know. But
it's just a flat. Yeah.
It's just the flats. My flatter, I just have him flat stuff. I don't really care what it looks like because I'm going to change it all anyway. So.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I was I don't know if we should well I still want to see that worked out. Oh my god, it's so good.
And it'll take him a while. He has to see actually the pages that I work on in order to be able to know what colors I'm going to use. So I mean,
Yeah.
he's just faking it at the moment.
Yeah.
And then and again, I come through after my flats it. I come through and I reflat everything. So like that is obviously not the blue that I would use.
Oh yeah, you got that. Oh yeah, that one time you colored that on stream was so awesome. You got the like the shape of the armor so good, like like I
That's
kind of get them like smooth and rounded. You know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah.
all right.
That's just yep. That's what I do. And then
that's so good. That came out good in the book too, I think. Yeah, I got the book right here.
It printed really well.
Yeah,
and you can look at it right now, right next to you.
Yeah.
What else did I do here? I started doing these pages in issue 6. But you've seen these ones already too. These are not ones. It was mostly me prepping pages when I was.
Sweet. Oh yeah, looks so good, man. The colors, man. The color choices. Man, I gotta get this. I gotta get this done.
It's so strange to me that I get 2 different pages in 2 different sizes from you. Like this first page on the left, the one with the 2, the dwarf and the lady, that's at 450 DPI. When this one here, this page is 600 DPI. I think that's because that was the first book that you sent, the page that you sent to me of the new book, and I'm like, look, just send it to me 600 DPI. I'll take care of it.
Sorry.
Yeah, I like this one because I like the texture in the back. The texture I added to it to make it look like a flashback. And I prefer this more red tone one on the left, but you can't really tell on your screen probably. The one on the right has more of a yellow tone, and the one on the left has more of a red tone.
Oh, I can see them. Yeah. Now that you point them out, I can see them. But I couldn't if you never point them out.
Yeah, it's just a little me. It's a little me thing, right? That's what I like.
Sweet.
Anyway, I think you decided you like this one better. Oh, and
the print looks so good. The printed copy looks so good.
Yeah, and I was honestly, I was really happy with the way the printed pages turned out. I have to give a shout out to our printers because they did a great job.
I know, like you saw the books that I printed. Like, you know what I mean? It's not nowhere near this quality. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the quality of the book here. This book?
No, mine's one. The original
one. Yeah, I remember. And I think that was a time when there was less self-published books being made. I think there's now more publishers that are doing these,
right?
And they're able to do it at a better price,
right?
Because the digital printing option is, oh my gosh, it's so much cheaper, under 1,000 copies than the other printing option.
Right.
But the moment you hit over 1,000 copies, it's so much cheaper to use the big press.
Right.
Like a lot cheaper.
I want to get to the point where we gotta use the big press. That'll be awesome.
Yeah, I actually have a hard time believing we're going to sell more than 300 copies.
Yeah, me too. But if you just keep going, and if the team, I don't know, whatever.
we'll see, right? If it warrants it, I'm all for doing whatever needs to be done. You know what I mean?
Well, put it like this: I sold issue one so many different times, and each
Yeah.
time, even if the same people bought them, they bought them. Like
Well,
they still bought them. You know?
were there some of those people that like think that comics are going to be worth more because he got the next version?
No, no. There's people that they're just like hell. They're just cool to me. Like they're just being nice to me. And
There's
I
nothing
keep
wrong with that, man.
yeah, and I get this guy. This guy is he's in Discovery Harbor. He's like, I bought this thing from you for like 5 times already. I was like, yeah, you keep buying them. I keep reading them. You just keep buying them. It's not my
Hey,
fault.
as long as you like buying them, I'm gonna print them.
It's just number one on top of the issue. You know you get issue number one, and you keep buying them. It's not my fault. Like, don't be mad at me. if I print them again and you buy them again, that's on you. I'm not telling you. I'm not holding one gun to you and telling you buy my book. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I hear you.
So
I gotta write some more of these.
what was that?
These Geekgasm comics that I did. Did you see
Oh,
these?
yeah, I saw that on your Instagram.
Yeah, I need to do more of these. I like doing them, and they're quick and easy. I could do them in a day.
Yeah,
and it's really good publicity when you could produce something every week.
yeah. That's what the webcomic was for me.
Yeah,
Was
because the moment they can produce something every week, that means somebody can come back and look at your stuff. What was looking good? Somebody can come back and look at what you did every week. That means they're paying attention. You got an audience now.
Right.
Well, part of the thing too for me is I did that all during the summertime. I get so much work done in the summertime when I'm not at school. That part of me wants to say, dude, just retire already and start working. And then I am too scared. I'm too scared of my future to stop. I'm too scared of getting seriously injured. I mean, I do dialysis now and it's expensive. But if I didn't have my insurance from work, it would be even more expensive.
Right. Ah, trust me, I get it, man. You looking at the, you know.
Oh, I know.
You know. Everybody in Hawaii know. It's,
You
it's
got
so,
you
so expensive to live.
you gotta. What is the word? You gotta hustle.
You gotta hustle.
It's like this everywhere in the world right now. Everyone has got to hustle.
Yeah.
And there's just no way around it, which sucks. But it's life, bro. You gotta do it.
Yeah. For me, I changed the way I look at the arting. The arting is the thing that make life fun now. It's like before I was like, I gotta do them because I gotta make this work so that my life can work. It's like no, I have to shift life. Like when my life is right and everything is good, then I can do this. Not this for that. It's that for this. This is my fun time.
Hey, good night, Mike. You have a good night. Thanks a lot for stopping by.
Oh, is that Napua's one?
Yeah, this is the cover I did for Napua's Dracula 1944.
I know, I saw that, but I don't have any scary stories.
I just made one up.
I know,
this one is different. This is for her self-published short story for Dracula 1944.
Yeah, 1944.
And then she decided she wanted to do another anthology project. I even got some. It's funny. I got some interesting characters I can get to add into mine. Let's see where to go. Here's one of the characters in the story. This is Stuart the Tuxedo. He's a homeless guy who wears an old tuxedo, and his hair is like puts a Rastafarian's head to shame, right?
I like that. What's that? What's that nib? What you eat that with nib?
I did nib on freaking typing paper, bro.
Yeah.
And
go back to nibs. Nibs is so clean.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you can see it, but it actually bleeds. Oops.
Yeah, I'm typing paper. Yeah, you gotta get Bristol.
Oh yeah, I got plenty of Bristol, but I did
I
this
wish
at
they would
school.
sell I wish they would sell 8.5 by 11 Bristol over here anyway.
They sell 9x12 Bristol.
Yeah, 9 by 12, but 9 by 12 is such a weird size for me.
Then
You know,
go get
and then
over
cut 'em.
go to the Canson Fanboy, or go to the place I get my stuff from, which is where am I forget the name of it now. I don't know. I'll send it to you later. And you order the unprinted ones, and they get 11 by 17 unprinted, just chop on in half. It's typing paper size, 8.5 by
Oh,
11.
I love that. Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's blasphemy to cut 11 by 17 in half.
Nah, you do however you like.
Yeah, it's true.
Just do them.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Yeah.
NBD, bro. It's just money.
No, but
And
you're right.
if you're gonna use it as a format that you're gonna try to sell, freaking do it. No big deal.
Yeah, true story. True story. Oh, I'm gonna water. I was gonna ask you about this.
I saw the post on your website on your Facebook page about that.
I'm gonna use watercolors on the back. I use Copics, but I'm gonna use watercolors. But I never did use watercolors before. But
I would make a suggestion.
yes.
Have you ever used watercolors to put a background in before?
Yes, I did.
On Bristol?
Yeah, one time.
Because it doesn't really do well on Bristol. It doesn't necessarily like the water, especially if you're using smooth Bristol. If you've got like vellum Bristol, it's okay. Because the paint grips. But
Okay.
on smooth Bristol, it likes it the pigment doesn't hold very well. It doesn't look the same. It paints weird. I would suggest actually using a masking frisket.
What is that?
Masking frisket. It's like that. It's like clear plastic that you can paint over an image, and then you can paint over it, and then you can peel the frisket off so it doesn't affect what's underneath it.
Oh yeah. Where do you get that from?
You look it up.
Frisket?
Frisket. FRISKET.
I never heard of that.
Masking frisket. It is a design tool.
Okay.
You can do it one of two ways. There's this way, which is like paint. You dip in and you paint over what you don't want to have color, and then you paint the background. And then when it dries, you get up off of your image, and then it's whatever was painted. It's like a mask, like a masking film.
Oh, so it's like taping them on, and then you just
have this other one, which is. But this one is waterproof. Frisket is waterproof. So if you paint, for example, if you paint you paint it here, then you paint the whole background. So all of this stuff is color. Then you can peel this off, and then the whole color is colored, and the what was here is not, because you protected it. They also make it as a film, where you unroll it and you stick it on, and you cut it off with an X-Acto knife.
I like that one.
The paint one?
Yeah.
So art masking fluid is used for all kinds of stuff, and
it doesn't ruin the drawing.
No.
I'm gonna try that. I gotta try that,
especially if you're using ink and Copics. It shouldn't do anything to it, as far as I know.
I'm gonna try that.
But yeah, no, it's a good way to protect something that you've drawn, and allows you to make really good smooth gradients in the background if you want to, which is something all us artists really like, because we're kind of anal that way.
Right.
But masking frisket would be one way to do it.
Okay. So you saw that image, yeah? With the green dinosaur.
Yeah.
Would you do red or would you do purple on the background?
Okay, hold on. Let's pull it up.
It's someplace, somewhere where we all
You see, with your Facebook page, I gotta actually type in Dua and not just DJ.
yeah,
Dua.
Wayne.
Dua. So what you have on here is predominantly green and yellow. What are the two colors that are complementary to green and yellow?
So green would be red and
And
yellow
yellow
would
would be,
be blue.
I would put yellow and blue.
Yellow and blue. So you'd go blue,
I'm sorry,
red and blue.
red and blue. Yes, I would put some kind of blue something in the background and
Okay.
something red. So maybe make a red mountain and then indicate maybe a blue sky, or make a water feature and indicate a red sky. If that
Well,
makes sense.
my original thought was gonna be blue and purple.
Yeah, blue and purple would work because
Oh,
technically that yellow is mostly green anyway, too.
right. So I was gonna go purple in front of the behind the dinosaur, and then the blue behind the yellow. And kind of final gradient between you know two different
Shall we?
colors. But I'm not good at
Shall
that.
we?
Okay,
Shall we?
sure.
Let me try wait. Put this for green. What's this? Do.
Oh, you're gonna do this, and not my watercolor is not gonna be as good as yours.
Yeah, but you can get an idea of what it looks like.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
it is
yeah,
totally about getting an idea. It's not about
yeah.
being perfect. Oh, you said what color? Purple?
Yeah, I said purple and blue.
That kind of purple?
Yeah.
Or more magenta purple?
What is magenta?
No, not that, not that. Hold on. That
No, that's more like the first one. More like the first one, but more towards the blue. Like when you I don't know on the color wheel when you pull more like that, but more lighter, I guess. Yeah, like that. And then kind of go through a couple different I don't know the word is hues or whatever. And the only reason I say the purple and the blue is because I think if it's just one color, you lose the skeleton guy and they get grouped together. But if the gradient separates the dinosaur from the guy, then you can, go to highlight the skeleton guy. Oh, that looks good.
Ooh. Oops. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways. Oh, that works. That works.
Honestly, anything that is different in tone from the green will work as a good background. And this blue would work, or even this purple would work.
I was gonna put the gradient or the separation of color diagonal, not diagonally, but like kind of I don't slant in between the two guys. You know, just so that you know,
Between them this way.
yeah, but at an angle, coming like that, coming down. Try. Can you spin that whole thing? Can you
Spin what whole thing?
that whole layer, or is it on the same layer?
Oh, it's just that it's
Oh,
not really,
okay.
there's not really anything there. I mean,
Yeah.
I have just the background selected.
Yeah.
Generally,
I guess.
it's not perfect.
Yeah.
Like
Well, thank
if it
you.
were me, what I might do, I might try to like pop in a little bit of bright between the two of them,
Oh yeah.
because then it creates a
Right.
dynamic tension between the two of them here, as opposed, and then it fades out to less tension to the darker color.
Yeah.
So maybe
Yeah.
something like that. So the
Yeah.
problem there is, you know how hard it is to do a true gradient in watercolor.
Yeah. I know. And that's the only reason I was gonna go from purple to blue is because it's close together. Hey, what's up, Plago? What's up, Dan? I was gonna do blue and like so, because I get the water and it's the Crayola watercolor one, you know what I mean? So I was gonna
I've
do a little
I've
bit.
got I've got 2 dozens of those Crayola watercolors sitting in my office at work.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just that. I was just gonna go blue on one side and then purple and then try fade them in the middle, like.
The problem there is creating a good gradient in watercolors is a son of a bitch.
Oh, yeah,
Seriously, especially when you have to work around when you have to work around, say, here
yeah,
and all of this stuff around all of this.
yeah,
Getting a good gradient from light here to darker there is going to be a pain in the butt, especially when it dries so quickly.
yeah.
You may
Well,
want to try doing what you call it. Oh
go.
no,
I don't want to waste all my ink.
yeah, no, I wouldn't use Copics. Um, hold on. My buddy Rich started using this paint medium, and my mind just went blank. You know who Richard Friend is?
Yeah,
Inker.
he's
He
awesome.
started painting gouache, which is acrylic watercolor essentially.
Acrylic watercolors, gouache. Yeah.
These here are his that he did in gouache here. This is the
Damn,
Darth Vader he did in gouache.
so
And then
awesome.
he's also done about some, like he did this one of Voodoo. I'm not Voodoo, but
Yeah. I don't know.
Zealot. And then he
Yeah.
did one of Voodoo down here. Voodoo.
Wow, is that gouache?
It's gouache on over inked pages.
Wow, so good, man.
And
So
he did
good.
watercolor, gouache over ink. He's
Yeah.
been killing it with his inks lately. Like, let me show you a good one here. Here's a good one. His Joker.
Yeah.
Shoot, what happened to my page? But he's been doing all of these black and white drawings of
Black
Marvel
and white is
characters.
so good, man. Even he's so good, man. The guy is
Dude
so
is
good.
freaking massive.
So good. So good. So good.
And Rich is a machine, man. He just draws. He just inks. He's a machine. He just does. Like I've seen him work forever. You know, I used to watch him work in the studio at Wildstorm. Brother is a machine, Mr.
So
Sinister.
good. Oh, Mr. Sinister. I was thinking about it. Like nobody can nobody does only Chris Claremont can use that guy right. Anyways, I gotta call it a night.
Yep, it's about time for me too. I gotta go to bed. Good job. When can I see a page? Here's the editor coming out. When am I going to see my next?
As soon as I can share them with, I never show you the other page.
I saw the one page that you sent to me. Them at the gate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I even started coloring that one.
Yeah. Anyways, once I get this pitch out of the way, and it's just the pitch, it's not the whole project. It's just the pitch. Then I'm gonna shift.
I showed you this already.
Not that one. The next page after that.
Yeah, I haven't gotten the next page after this yet. I saw portions of it online when I went to the folder, but it wasn't finished when I looked at it.
Yeah, still, it's pretty much so the reason why the thing is not finished is I'm working on the backgrounds. You know what I mean? Trying to keep the backgrounds consistent. So you wanted me to bring the gate down so you could see all the roofs. You know what I mean? Yeah. So so when you said that, I was like, okay, well, this page is gonna take forever to finish because
it's an establishing page. These are all 4 issues are establishing issues.
Yeah. No, well, the first issue is definitely,
Yeah.
First issue is.
I can't wait till we show that last scene with the balloon flying over the city.
Yeah. And I know you're gonna kill that one. Like I was like,
kill that. I'm gonna kill
Black
it.
Silhouette. It's gonna be so fast for me. Black Silhouette with this. I should do that next. I should do that next because, I gotta work on those damn cityscape.
So now you can just burn them all down, right? The last page.
Yeah. See,
Dan says the sampler book in the mail. The stuff looks fantastic.
Yeah, that's Dan. I sent him one copy.
Yeah, good job.
Sent him a copy. Sent them out to my friends. I want them to rate them or see them.
Yeah. All right, dude.
All right.
Good talking to you. I think we had actually more talking than both of us expected in this episode. Then we'll try to get some help for the next time. I think we'll talk more off the air about scheduling, but kind of leaning towards us doing this every other week and not every week, because it's been getting hard to do it every week, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we'll talk about it offline.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
even
Okay.
if one of us just wants to do art online and stream, that's cool too.
Okay.
All right, bro. Good talking to you. Talk to you later.
Okay, everybody. Okay, Dan, you still there? Where's my thingy?